The State of the Nation address has come and gone, so too has the national budget speech, and yet South Africans continue to despair about the country's prospects, especially as high stages of load shedding persist. So amid the concerns and uncertainty, why is it taking so long for President Cyril Ramaphosa to take the nation into his confidence about a cabinet reshuffle? A reshuffle, of course, that South Africans are hoping will enable a re-energized government to urgently deal with the country's multi-pronged problems. Well, to share his thoughts on this and other matters, I'm joined by SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeje. Well, it's a very loaded intro, isn't it, Mzwandile? So, I mean, we know that the president likes to consult extensively, but what do we understand about the reason behind why it's taking him so long to tell us about the cabinet reshuffle, which we're all hoping will be fundamental to helping to deal with the many crises we have?
Well, thank you very much, Nompu. As much as the president has the prerogative to appoint whomever into his cabinet, remember, he is sent there by a party. So as much as you are the president, but of course you've been sent by someone there. So the fact that there is a party involved, so you've got to take those people along with you. In fact, he has just been voted back into office. I'm talking about ANC office,
yes.
2 months ago. So given that they have shown this kind of confidence, so what is it that they saw in you that you should continue? So then it's necessary for him to say, okay, despite all the challenges, they still believe in me. So what is it that now I need to do? So let me take them along. And remember, there's also the alliance. You have to take everyone, so that when you take those final decisions, everyone is on board. Not only the party, also the broader society. There will be aspects where it's going to be necessary. In fact, when you look at the position that he has created, well, he announced it, so everyone is watching. So you can't just put anyone there, because we have challenges that must be resolved soonest.
There's always a debate and a discussion that you and your colleagues have with analysts about, you know, whether a president puts the interests of the nation or his party first. And I think there's always some contestation with that. When the president spoke at the State of the Nation address almost 3 weeks ago, his thrust was the electricity or the energy crisis. And he spoke about it. His tone was very much an urgent one. And so and hence he also declared a state of disaster around the crisis. And so one would have thought that because we're in an emergency and we're now on stage 4 and 5 of load shedding, one would have thought that would be quite an important thing for him to decide on fairly quickly, while bringing all his party members along with him. Why the delay? Because we are in a crisis.
Absolutely. And I think one of the considerations that the president is having is that, I mean, in order to make this important announcement, you don't need to make an announcement just to please the crowd, to say, I've said we'll have an electricity minister. But you need someone who will have the expertise, who will have the know-how, who will be well-versed with the challenges that the country is facing. Because there's not much time left, really. South Africans are growing impatient. In fact, I guess we've grown so used to load shedding. Someone was even saying, if there's no load shedding, there's something, as if there's something is missing there.
Yes.
So, and that's not right. So you've got to get someone who'll be able to have a handle on this, somebody who understands what sort of challenges are there. I guess, as you've said, the president has to obviously put the nation first. But when putting that nation first, he works with a collective, and that collective comes from his party.
Yes.
He has to also get their buy-in, because you don't want to be a loner. You can easily be isolated and, of course, even recalled.
Yes. Just to emphasize the point, I understand what you're saying about taking the party along with you, and consultation is very important. But ultimately, one of the issues that has come up, or in people's analysis, not just experts, but ordinary South Africans, is that our president is indecisive. There's that feeling that he's indecisive, that if the house was on fire, he would take his time to get the water hose out and actually douse it. So I think this is something that could be part of his legacy. Doesn't he risk that being part of his legacy? That when he could have acted a month in advance, he acted much later and therefore made our situation as a country far much worse.
Yes, in fact, one of the things I mean, I've asked him that question personally to say, you are accused of taking long to take decisions. And then he says, before he arrives at a particular decision, so he needs to be satisfied with all aspects of that decision. But of course, given the challenges and the urgency of the situation, South Africans are actually not happy with that. But for me, whether he takes a decision now or a bit later, the kind of decision that he'll take will answer that question. Is he decisive or not? If he takes long, and then those changes that he makes, and then are just cosmetic, they don't re-energize, then probably people will be saying, well, actually, we don't even know why he was waiting. But if the decision that he will take in terms of the appointments he will make, and then will bring confidence to say, the reason why it took so long, because I was looking at the mechanics of this and that, but here we are now. Given that we have this person, load shedding, let's say, for example, will be gone in 12 months. So if issues like those were to come out, I'm sure people will be a bit forgiving. But if nothing changes, so of course that becomes valid, the concern.
Very quickly, I'm being told to speed up. Very quickly, what are you hearing behind, the shadows in the background about the possible time that we'll hear, and who do you think is definitely out of the current cabinet?
Well, there's one individual who's publicly said, I've informed the president that I'm going the deputy president. That one we know is definitely out because he has let us in on that one. But I think it's no longer, it's a matter of days before we get that cabinet reshuffle. Remember, Fikile Mbalula is the full-time Secretary General at Luthuli House. So currently he's holding 2 full-time positions because being a cabinet minister and the Secretary General, and all those positions are demanding. So that position needs to be vacated as soon as possible. And of course, the Deputy President has made it clear that he is giving space to Paul Mashatile. So those are certainly going to come in. And then, of course, the President himself has said, I will be announcing a new Minister of Electricity. So we'll wait.
Let's wait and see. Thanks very much, Mzwandile Mbeje, our political editor here at the SABC.